Okay, Worth, we're going to take a look at your swing here. First we're going to have to try to get you a little bit more upright instead of kind of reaching out for the ball. But you can see, let me do this in a different color. So the white line represents basically the shaft plane, hand plane line. But this is the real important line to me. And this really determines to me the blue line going up through your shoulders, whether you're getting a good enough vertical wrist hinge or not. So once we get here, you can see where the lines crisscross. To me, you're in a good position right there. So if you notice how the club head plane is along the white line, but it is staying on the outside of your blue vertical line, then you're in good shape. This is what we call zone 1. Zone 2 is where we're trying to get the hinge of the club where it works up into that little white box there. Okay, so as you see, you don't have the wrist hinge established yet, so you're going to have to lift the club vertically. If you were to establish a full wrist hinge earlier, we wouldn't have this problem of your arms and the club touching the blue line. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. And that's why we put those two rods to, remember I had a rod over here and then I had a rod over on this side of your leg, because we were trying to feel more of this vertical wrist hinge, which right now when you look at your right hand, there is no wrist hinge right there. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. It's all about how you're hinging the club, and then you come down and you can see you're above the plane line. But at the same time, when I looked at the videos, look how you arrived at impact. So it was still a better swing, but when you were doing the drill, where you felt like you were, let me do another line here. When you were doing the drill with that other instructor where we go here and then trying to come way in from the inside here, now all of a sudden you start getting the toe shanks. So, bottom line is we've got to get your wrist hinge where it's working a little bit better. But you hit the ball fantastic here. You arrived in a much better impact position than before. So it's just a matter of taking a look at the two videos, the one that I showed you. But when you get back to this point, right about here, this is where your wrist hinge will establish, and then you just take it there. The turning motion of your body's done. Once you get to this point, you just want to set the club up that blue line, and then you're golden. That's just all there is to it. It should be that simple instead of being complicated to where you got to take it out here, then it will work up and then come back down. Whereas we're just trying to work the club with your wrist hinge up, then it uncocks. And when we say it uncocks, we're talking about the butt of the club trying to stab ourselves into the right thigh. When you do that, that will make the club, once you feel like you stab yourself there, that will throw the club into the ball into this direction, or throw the club head into the ball in that direction. It's just that simple. So the simpler you keep it, the easier it will be. Good job.